The purpose of this video is to explain to you guys that you need to really, take it easy on yourselves and not, like put so much pressure on yourselves because lately I've been feeling a little bit like shit because I didn't think that I was making enough progress. I thought that, all right, I've been progressing decently, but I'm not like at the point where I need to be or where I could be. And then, it really clicked for me. So I saw this, like the typical graph that you usually see, and it's like the average male is supposed to peak at 30. So 30 years old is when, the life for men begins. That's like what they say. And then for women, their life begins like at 18, and then it steadily drops. And for us, it really starts at 30, and then, we tend to go up exponentially. If you're here watching this video and you're like, what, 16, 17, 18, even 25, and you still aren't like the top 1%, then you really don't fucking blame yourself because you're literally just like, say you've been on self-improvement like me for 6 months. You've been alive for 6 months. Like, it's the same as if you haven't lived your entire life and now you finally started living. 6 months. And another interesting thing, like, approximately it takes 3 years to reach the top 1%. Let's say top 5%, all right? It takes 3 years to become a top 5% man in this world. 3 years. Time is going to pass by anyway, so don't fucking use that excuse. 3 years. You know how quickly 3 years pass? Like, when I think about summer vacations, when I go to Kosovo, where I'm from, if I think 2 years ago, you know how fucking fast that went? And it's already February tomorrow, so it's 30 January now. In 2 days, it's February. Before I know it, it will be my third vacation in Kosovo since I've been started, counting. So that would have been 3 years. Had I started then, I would be top 5% now. 3 years, they pass by so fucking quickly. I've been on self-improvement for like 6 months maybe now. A little bit longer, but I mean like really started doing all of the things consistently. 6 months. After 3 months of self-improvement, you will have momentum, and then that's when everything will start to click. You'll get consistent in the gym. Meditation will finally start to work for you. Like the books you read, all right, you can see some overlapping like ideas in every book that you read. You start to apply some of the things you learn in your real life. That's when you hit momentum, and when you're inside of that momentum is when your growth will come exponentially. So 6 months for me. 3 years are 36 months. That means that only 30 months for me are left to become a top 5% man. I mean, relatively, right? So these are like approximate numbers, but still, if you don't become top 5%, you'll at least become top 10%. You'll at least become top 15%. Like, it's not like fucking video games where you'll practice your entire life to become an esport gamer, and then eventually it doesn't work out for you. Then what did you gain? Nothing, because you didn't really develop any skills, or you didn't develop yourself as a human. That's the downside of like esports and stuff. But in real life, all right, let's say the top 5% is like benching 130. All right, you can only bench 120, but that's still marginally better than like the rest of the people, so you're still doing good. You just need a little bit more time, you understand? So the purpose of this video was to tell you to not really like beat yourself up for not being like that at the top, because the toxic thing with a lot of social media consumption is that you start to compare yourself to others, and it's not even your fault. It's so easy to see this 18-year-old, this motherfucker who's making like 100,000 a month by drop shipping and selling courses. Of course you are going to feel shit when you see someone like him, but that's like the exception, not the rule. I promise, like, if you go on self-improvement for 3 years, you'll start to see exponential growth in your life, and you'll probably hit like the top 5% of all men in the world in those 3 years, after those 3 years. And if you have not, then still your growth has been so substantial that you, like, when you put two pictures of yourselves next to each other, it's like, who the fuck is this guy? This is a completely different human. So like I said, all it really takes is being and sticking with fucking consistency for just those little 3 months, and you'll get the momentum. and then like your life will just simply shift. Like you cannot imagine yourself not going to the gym anymore. You cannot imagine yourself not meditating every single day. It becomes a part of you, and that's fucking important. When things become like when it turns into your identity, that's when you like the self-improvement stuff really starts to work. So it's the same as like the opposite works as well, right? So say you've been going to the gym for months on end consistently and you miss like a week. Do you think you'll lose all your fucking gains? Of course you won't. But the reverse is also true. You never went to the fucking gym in your life. Now you've been going for a week. Do you think you'll suddenly start to feel better, suddenly have a lot of gains or look better or be stronger? Of course not. Because it's like single fraction of the entire process. You have to stay consistent for 3 months, and then that's when you really start to, see the benefits and start actually that's when self-improvement really starts for you. Like the first 3 are just, the great filter. So everyone wants to be in self-improvement, but really doesn't want to, they can't stick to it and quit. Are you a fucking quitter or not? That's the question. Can you stick with it for like 3 months? I will never delete these videos off of YouTube. I will leave them. Even if I quit YouTube, which I probably will never do, you'll still see in like 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, you will see how I have, managed to grow or change or whatever throughout the years. I will never delete these videos. I don't really give a shit. And you can compare me, and you can put a picture of me in 5 years and this me right here speaking, and I will look like a fucking loser. And if I put a picture from me from like 5 years ago and now, that guy looks like a fucking loser. That's the fucking goal. The goal that you have to set is to make yourself look like a loser every single fucking year. You have to change so much that when you look back, so right now I think I'm pretty good, right? But in a year from now, I'll look back and think, whoa, this guy was a fucking idiot. And that's what I need to think about myself. That's like the fucking attitude that you need to take about this. My name is Danny, and I genuinely want to help young men like you improve their life one level at a time. To help me, you can click on the like button, click on the subscribe, turn on the bell for notifications, and the most important thing is to leave a comment and to tell me what you would like me to change, to make the videos better for you. Goodbye.